So some advice I would give to SMBs who are looking to improve their customer engagement, there's 4 pieces of advice. One is very much around knowing your goals, setting your objectives for what successful customer engagement looks like for you. At Microsoft, I actually have a AAA framework for the social evaluation. So what does success look like for social at Microsoft? And I've pitched that around 3 A's. One is around awareness, so your reach and your volume for your brands and your products and your services. Appreciation, so this is the sentiment, so people being negative or positive about your products and services, but also engagement in that area, so are people liking, sharing, responding to your content. And then finally, the 3rd A is all around action. So, what are the end-site actions we want that customer to take? That could either be, picking up the phone to speak to our sales teams, or maybe that's, downloading a trial on site. So again, it's very much really understanding what success looks like and then optimizing to one of those goals. The second bit of advice I'd give would really be around knowing your customer inside out. So this is, really having insight-driven data about your customer, because that helps shape so many other parts of your customer engagement strategy, from how you interact with them, from the content that you might, post to them, whatever that might be. So we use social listening to help us do a lot of that customer intel, especially because we're talking to them on our social channels. Social media is one of the most honest focus groups out there, so be prepared, because you're going to hear lots about what your competitors are doing, about how you're showing up on social. So social listening can really help you with that strategic insight about your customer. And then the third part that I would give in terms of advice would really be about knowing what you stand for on social and really developing your brand and your social presence and how you want to turn up on social. You do have to know your values, you do have to think about how you want to be perceived. And one of the things to really think about how you differentiate is, how can you be an opinion former, how can you be a thought leader in your area with your customers and your community. So by having that, it really gives you credibility and authenticity with your customers, which they're just calling out for. And then the last part that I think SMBs have that they can just absolutely take advantage of is just how agile and nimble they can be. They can be very quick to market, you can hop onto trends, you can sort of reach out in a very nimble way to influencers and potential customers. So it's really about how you maximise your agility. So that's 4 bits of advice from me. One is all around knowing your customer, setting your goals, establishing your brand, and being agile. So wow, there are so many social media tools out there that SMBs can use to help with their customer engagement. It's almost like, where do you start? And so what I would think about the tools that are going to be most useful for you and what you need to achieve. So really think about, if I need to get social listening insight, what tools could I use to help there? We actually do have MSC Dynamics. We use that for our social listening, and it's really valuable in finding out insights around our customers and our competitors, what they might be doing there. You might also be thinking, Roy, I've got lots of different Twitter accounts that I need to manage. I want to track what other Twitter accounts are doing. How might I use that? There's an application called TweetDeck that allows you to have a dashboard of different Twitter channels and accounts, so you can organise it in quite a visually pleasing way. So that could be really useful for SMBs just in terms of monitoring Twitter accounts. One thing I love doing on Twitter is I create lots of lists. So you can create Twitter lists. For example, I have my social team, so I've signed them to a list, so whenever I go there I can see exactly what all my team are talking about on Twitter. I've done that for my customers, you can do that for competitors, you could do that for influencers in an industry, whatever it might be. So lists are a great technique for keeping track of what important people to you are saying on Twitter. Also, if you've got your own social channels that you're running, you might want to think about content planning and editorial scheduling. And to help you with that, you could go as far as an Opal, or you could use Trello, which is a free tool. I actually, really recommend using Excel and PowerPoint to help you with your content planning. And lastly, reporting is really key. So what are some of the different analytics tools out there? Well, you could go very grand and get Simply Measured, or you can actually use the native features that are available through Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn to see how people are engaging with you. And last I would think about is having a really good web analytics package. So, you really want to be able to attribute the value back to the channels that are driving to your digital landing pages, and you want to be able to see, well, how much social drive in terms of conversion, how much has my email marketing done to help drive sign-ups or whatever it might be, whatever your KPI there is. So I would definitely think about getting a really good web analytics tool as well to help you with that.